Okay, we are live. I'm going to try and pull us up on the laptop. This is my daughter, Christine. Christine is 11 and she is starting to help me more and more in the kitchen. She likes to make mac and cheese.
And quesadillas.
And quesadillas. But tonight we are going to make some tacos. So just give me a minute to pull it up on my laptop so that I can check in on some comments. Meanwhile, Christine is going to turn the pan on to warm up so we can cook our meat.
Which setting? Huh? Like, I know this.
Oh yeah, we just need the small ring
Okay.
to medium. And there we are, I found us. A time delay. Okay. Oh, and now our oven's to temperature. So, while our pan gets nice and warm, let's talk tacos. We are going to be using Epicure's taco seasoning packets. These are kind of like the old El Paso ones you will find at the grocery store, in that they have like a thickening agent in it, just to give you that nice sauce. But they do not contain all the additives and preservatives that you will find in your old El Paso or store variety brand, because our products are healthy, aren't they? What else can you say about Epicure products? Do you know anything else about Epicure?
They're good.
They're good. They don't have any gluten in them, and they are made in a facility that does not have any nuts at all. So we know that anytime we bake with them, we can take it to school and we don't have to worry about those kids that have nut allergies, right? Okay, so one taco seasoning packet, you need 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I've got probably a little over a pound over there. I tend to buy them bulk and divide them up into approximately 1 pound servings. You can use whatever kind of meat you want. You can also, if you're vegetarian, use like an Eve's ground round. We had that a couple weeks ago. It was really delicious. Or you could make it with chickpeas, with beans, lentils, whatever you prefer for your vegetarian or vegan needs. So, I don't think I got the scissors out. Get that ready. Now, Epicure also has taco seasoning in a jar. This does not have the same thickening agent, so it's more like you just get the taco spice and flavor. And earlier today on my Insta stories, I posted my vegetarian version, which my daughter Marley and probably myself will eat because I actually quite like it. I make a vegetarian version with beets, yam, and black beans, and then I just toss it in a little bit of this, and it's really yummy. Okay, I think this is probably hot enough. Let's open up our packet of ground beef and dump it into the pan.
Just dump it right
let
in.
it go. Just don't get the plastic in the pan. Okay. Now you can.
Use this.
We've got a couple of different utensils here for Christine to use. So our family has typically used something like this. Maybe you guys do that too. And then I discovered our ground meat separator. And this is really, really good if you are using your multi-purpose steamer to make ground beef. And yes, you can cook ground beef in your microwave. This helps separate up all the little bits of meat so that you don't get meatloaf. But it's really good in here too. It's plastic, so it's not going to scratch the pan. But I have done it in our multi-purpose steamer as well.
For the kids' cooking class.
That's right. We had, over the summertime I think it was, we had a kids cooking and crafting class where we had some of Christine's friends and we made some tacos and some chocolate pudding, and then we made some cards, I think.
No, the first one, the taco one, was with the books.
Oh, we made little journals, that's right. Those were really fun.
Yeah, And I was an expert at it because you made us make them for the
I
Disney
did.
cruise.
I'm a little bit crafty. All right, we got somebody tuning in. Hello, Jane. How's Jane today? Jane, I saw your virtual wine tasting. Why am I opening that one? That's not what I meant to open. It looked like fun. I need to get into a wine group or book club or something like that I can have meetings over Zoom. Okay, I'm just gonna let that cook for a little bit, honey. Can you just center it back over the heat ring?
Yeah, it moved a bit.
Mm-hmm. So our family would like to do hard tacos and soft tacos. And we've got a couple of members that really only like taco salad, and then some that like a variety. So
I have both.
you like those. How many do we have in here?
It says 10.
10? 2, 3, 4, 5.
How many of these did you put
We'll
on?
do 6. How many are in there? 12? You know what? Those ones we can turn into nachos later, so let's do all of those. All of them? Yeah. You're gonna lay them out on here. Oh, so if any of you guys have our sheet pan or our quarter sheet pan, this is a PSA for you. Do not put them in the dishwasher, because if you do, they'll start to look like this. We have up in Canada, we have these quarter sheet pans. I can't remember if you guys have them down in the States right now. And I accidentally put both of them in the dishwasher, and so they got some streaks on them. And then I pulled this one out of the dishwasher the other day, and I realized they had gone through at least a second time. And yeah, it looks really bad. Still cook everything just fine, but so do not put them in the dishwasher. Hand wash them.
Is that it?
Well, you got to fit them all on there, so you're gonna have to stand them up a little bit.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. So how's everybody doing? We are in day 2 of the homeschooling. Yay!
Not really homeschooling.
Our school district hasn't released a formal education plan yet, but we know it's coming. The teachers are going to be contacting us this week to make sure that we are fully set up with access to computers and probably see which parents are going to be around to enforce the rules and make sure they get assignments done.
I know one for nachos.
There you go. But we've been trying to limit their screen time, trying to make sure they get some educational content in and some physical activity.
Wait,
I
do I
don't know.
still need room for this?
No, we can put that in separately.
Because I still need to make sure there's enough room for everything.
Yeah, that's fine. You can put them this way. It's always fun having a helper in the kitchen.
I have one extra.
Okay, well let's shove these together a little bit more maybe. So we can get it in there.
There.
Okay. Yeah. Put that one away too. All right. So I'm just going to turn this up a bit because it's taking some time to heat up.
I'm guessing
now-
we're going to use this to like move it around.
What else do we need if we're having tacos?
Guacamole. It's
Guacamole. Guacamole, guacamole. I have one avocado left. It is like Tuesday, and I am trying not to go to the grocery store until Friday. I think I might have to go on Thursday. I'm really trying to avoid the grocery store. So I've got one avocado. It's got some kind of bad bits in it, but I know I can just scoop them out, not to worry. Do you like our avocado or our guacamole, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when I make guacamole, I'm going to make sure you're not blocking the camera, honey. Got some serious time delay. No, you're not blocking the camera. Okay. When I make guacamole, I like to put my avocado on my cutting board. We're going to have very limited amounts of guacamole, it looks like. And mash it here. And then put it in my bowl. I just find I get a more even mash than when I try and do it in the bowl. for you, Jane. I have a tiny bit of a guacamole, it looks like. This is the thing about avocados. They sit there and they're hard as a rock for a long time, and then they're over. And there's not really any warning. They go from hard as a rock to over in like a nanosecond. But I did buy these several days ago, so I guess it's to be expected. Okay. So what I like to do is just mash it on my board. We went, my husband and I visited a restaurant in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta, where they used like a mortar and pestle. They did it tableside and they used a mortar and pestle. Very good. I don't even think I need this big bowl for my guacamole, so we'll just put that away and we'll put it into our little prep bowl. I'm going to use about half a tablespoon of guacamole. You okay over there?
Yep. Just thought something flew onto my shirt.
I should get you an apron. About half a tablespoon of guacamole mix for that little bit of avocado. And I've got, this is the only lime I have left. I have half a lime left, so I'm going to have to share it out over my guacamole and my salsa, which I'm going to make in a minute. And I forgot to get my citrus press.
I was wondering about that. Making sure there aren't no big chunks of meat.
So, most of you have probably seen this already. This is our 2-in-1 citrus press. Big side is technically for lemons. The green bit is for limes, but I have quite a large lime, so it's going in the lemon side. And then you put it cut side down, and you squeeze it, and then it all goes into the bowl. That should be enough to just mix this around.
Oh, I can smell it.
Yeah, you smell that lime, hey? Smells good?
I can smell it over the meat, too. And the meat has a pretty strong scent.
Yeah. So that's coming along. Yeah, careful to keep it all inside the pan.
I just flew it.
Okay. Oh, I just used a clean spoon. That was silly. My sort of rhythm is off because I have a guest in my kitchen, and my kitchen is not actually that big. Not really big enough for 2 people. You know what? I'm going to use another little prep bowl for my salsa because I've only got 1 tomato left. But this is the reality that we're living in right now. We do not necessarily have access to all the ingredients that we're used to. They might still be available, it's just we can't get to them as frequently as we would like to, or we're used to. So we've got to learn how to conserve, make adjustments, make substitutions. Honestly, that is one of my favorite things about Epicure, is how easily it is to make substitutions. I think if my daughter had gone vegetarian before I found Epicure, I would have had a really hard time trying to figure out how to feed her and my family quickly and easily and tastefully without cooking 2 separate meals and going completely insane.
Should I throw this bag out?
Yeah, you can throw that out. And each meal solution pack comes with the main recipe on it, plus some alternatives. I'll take a look at ours in a minute and see what the alternatives are. It's been a while since I read them. Sometimes I get so used to using particular packs, I just don't even read them anymore. I think I did that the other day, and what was I making?
I'm used to the macaroni pack.
Yeah, maybe it was macaroni, and I did it slightly different than what the instructions said, but it all worked out in the end.
It makes it a creamier sauce. Also, I think the meat's all cooked.
Okay, I'll come take a look at that in just a minute. Let's see, are we all cooked? It looks pretty good. So we sometimes we buy lean, sometimes if I can get it on sale we'll buy extra lean. I think this is lean, so I'm just going to drain it a little bit. And I've just got my colander in my sink. It's got a little bit of guacamole in it, but that's not going to kill anybody. We're just going to drain off the fat. And then we can add our taco seasoning. Do you want to snip the top off the taco seasoning, honey?
Sure.
Watch out. Carefully not putting powder there. Okay, perfect. So the meat's cooked, drained, and now we just have to add our taco seasoning, which
If you want one ugly.
Okay. You were just using the scissors very awkwardly there. Okay, dump it in. Put it all on the pan and not on the floor. Okay, mix it around. Now, she's hacked off the top, but let's just see. It says 1 cup of water. I don't usually add 1 cup of water. I find that is too much. And I'm a real, fly by the seat of my pants kind of cook, so I just add until I feel like it's a good amount of water. But I do have some water here. Okay, she's trying to feed the stove. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of water. Keep mixing.
Oh, that literally just stopped the sizzling.
Yeah. And
Wait, does this mean I don't have to do my after dinner chores?
yes, we have a house rule that whoever cooks the dinner does not have to clean up the dishes afterwards. So because Christina's helping cook the dinner, she doesn't have to clean up afterwards. Okay. While that is cooking, if you can just scooch to your side, I'm going to put these in there to warm up. This needs to sort of simmer for about 5 minutes. If it gets too thick, we can add a little bit more water. And I'm going to finish my salsa. So I got our Poco Picante salsa. Canada. Now we used to have something called Pico Picante, which was a mild salsa. And they put it on the vault list. That's right, thank you. It's sold out. So sorry if you didn't grab it off the vault list when you had the chance. I don't know.
Did you know?
Maybe they will bring it back. Maybe they'll bring something else in. I really don't know. So we've got fresh salsa. Now you can make this salsa with canned diced tomatoes, but I kind of like, I would say I like my family too much to serve them canned diced tomatoes, but to be honest, it's just my husband and I that were eating the salsa anyways, and I way prefer fresh tomatoes for salsa than canned diced tomatoes. So I will go to the effort of chopping it, because it takes all of 2 minutes, just so I can have fresh salsa.
Do you think it needs guacamole water?
Yeah, we can add a little bit of water. Keep stirring. Now what else do we need? We got our salsa, we got our guacamole, we got our taco meat, we got our shells cooking. Lettuce
Cheese.
and cheese. Because what would a taco be without lettuce and cheese? We had this discussion actually.
Yeah.
It would be without lettuce, it would be a
Burrito.
burrito. There we go.
But Paige is very weird. Like, she doesn't like tacos. Like, she has to eat tacos without lettuce, but she eats taco salads.
Mm.
And that's actually mainly lettuce.
So here's my dilemma, people. In the whole vein of not going to the grocery store, for some reason, even though I knew I was making tacos, and I know that the majority of us prefer taco salad over actual tacos, and I'm making Asian lettuce wraps, I only bought one head of lettuce. What was I thinking? So we're gonna chop up a little bit of lettuce. I'll make sure that Paige gets a salad.
I want my small salad, like, remember?
You want a small salad.
I always have small salad in it.
And our Asian lettuce wraps might have to go into tortillas, but we'll figure it out.
As long as they still have lettuce.
Be a little bit of lettuce in them maybe, but they won't be in lettuce cups. They won't be quite as healthy.
Exactly.
But this is what we gotta do right now. We gotta make substitutions, and we gotta just use what we got and figure it out later. And actually, I think that's a really good idea. We'll just have easy Asian
Tortillas. It's so warm now because it just keeps getting the steam.
Okay, that looks good. All right, I need a couple of salad portions.
Should I stir it a bit if it bubbles furiously?
Well, we can actually turn it down while we're waiting for those shells to warm up. So we did do a little art project today. That was our homeschooling little project. What did we do, Christine?
A little sign for our teachers.
Yep. To show them that we miss them. We wish we were going back to school.
I miss school.
I know.
School's actually a lot of fun.
It is. Okay, so there's enough there. A couple of salads.
You've been dropping some lettuce.
So I'll just put that in the compost to me. And then we'll chop a little bit for the rest of us. We're just gonna have to be very judicious and only take a little bit of lettuce, right?
Like me with my taco salad and taco, and then probably a second taco.
Okay, and grate some cheese.
Eat.
There you go. Grate some cheese. Alrighty, so we're almost ready. Can you guys see this? Hold it up.
I did that.
There's the taco meat. So Christine's cooked. It's looking good. The taco seasoning is pleasantly spicy, I guess you could say. It's
Wait,
not
this side or this side?
this side. It's not like overpoweringly spicy. If you want it spicier, you can either add a little bit of the jarred taco seasoning, which is spicier, or you can add a little bit of the poco picante into there. Hope you guys are enjoying this. If you're watching the replay, which you probably are because there's only one person watching live, just put in hashtag replay so I know you've been there, and feel free to ask any questions. At least one of my daughters, depending on which one I can convince to come on camera, and I will be cooking on Tuesdays. I'm going to make that Kids in the Kitchen day. So please feel free to make requests, what you would like to see them cook. One day we will make our s'mores chocolate pudding, right?
Yay!
We'll do that for you guys. Yeah, that's always popular. But these guys can make a lot, especially my older daughters. They're pretty competent in the kitchen, so you name it, we can probably make it.
Probably can make a lot. You have a whole cookbook.
She does have a whole cookbook. Well, she's taking foods at school. Before I go, I wanted to show you the vegetarian mix that I made. So I don't know if you've had a chance to watch my Instagram stories or not, but this is what I made today, earlier. So basically I took one beet, and it was a fairly large, well, large for the beets we normally get at the store. It's about the size of my hand, like a small apple. I diced it quite small, put it in my rectangular steamer for 3 minutes in my microwave, and while that was cooking, I diced my yam a little bit bigger because it gets softer than the beet does, so it can be a little bit bigger, and then put that on top of the cooked beets, put it back in the microwave for another 3 minutes, and then because these were a bit larger than I normally cook for just Marley, I put it in here because if I had tried to mix it in my rectangular steamer, I would have had stuff everywhere. Added almost a tablespoonful of the taco seasoning into it, and then a can of black beans that I had drained and rinsed. And then all I need to do is put some of this into my rectangular steamer, warm it up, and then my daughter Marley has a lovely vegetarian taco filling. There's a lot here, which is great because I'm going to freeze probably a good half of this portion, so we can have that next week, week after, however long this thing lasts. We'll have veggie taco filling in the freezer for the next time we have tacos, or burritos, or quesadillas, or you can put it on nachos. There is also a really, really great vegan taco filling recipe on the website that I have made, and it uses sun-dried tomatoes, our taco seasoning in the jar, and
Grating cheese is
apparently
hard.
she's getting a workout with grating the cheese.
Well, I just keep doing the same motion over and over again.
And then some nuts, some
And then
raw
nut
almonds
cheese.
and raw cashews. It's really good. I was a little skeptical when I made it, but it was super tasty, and my daughter really enjoyed it. And it was especially good, like for nachos, just kind of crumbled on top. So that's another favorite of ours. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed our little cooking class.
I just ate a bit of cheese.
She's stealing cheese. Do you have anything else to add to the Facebook people?
Not really.
Not really? Did you have fun?
Yes.
Yes? You gonna cook with me again?
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys, that's it from me and Christine. Christine, say bye to everyone.
Bye.
Have a great night, everybody, and have a wonderful dinner. Stay home, stay safe.